Yeah, good luck to you too. Super Agent Effect, call spell.
I can't take it. I can take one more second of this format. That's it. I'm gonna do something about this. I'm gonna cryogenically freeze myself until this format's over. See you in the future. 2020. Now tell me, what's playable?
Oh, hey, you're back. Sorry, anyway. Chainlink 1 discard, Chainlink 2 master plan effect?
Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka MBT, back again with another episode of 10-Minute Testing. Well, there's no use ignoring it any longer. Spiral is the best deck, and it's time to stop dancing around these deadly 00 agents and start making peace with Master Plan and MI6. Presenting Spiral. So here's the list, which we've shamelessly stolen from Michael State's recent PPG top. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is a one-stop shop for deck building, deck uploading, card searching, and strategy articles, some of which are written by yours truly. I'm proud to represent them, and I encourage any player interested in deck building to check out their website at www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to Bond. As mentioned previously, Spiral has shaken, but not stirred, the format. This shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, save the few individuals who slipped into a coma 10 minutes before Magician's Souls was spoiled, and subsequently woke up 8 seconds ago, eager to see what their favorite YGO Pro replay tuber with 3k subs has cooked up this week. To that person, nice to see you're up and about. And I have some bad news about the state of the world these past few months. Anyway, by abusing some clauses designed to make Magician's Souls playable in, well, Magician, as well as finding a fill-in for the long-forbidden Nightmare Goblin, these superb agents are once again playing the most disrespectful payoffs in the game. I'm talking triple co-linked Trigate tiers of flex. You haven't lived until you've baited 7 negates just to die to a set copy of Spiral Gear Utility Wire. The bread and butter combos of these bunguses are as follows. Souls sends Master Plan, then can discard missions from the hand to plus you further. Afterwards, you can summon a Master Plan from the graveyard with Rescue, which translates into more missions, Barricade Borg, and Resort. You'll next search Quick Fix and perform your normal summon, yes, 7 steps in, followed by a Link summon of Double Helix, a Return of Master Plan, and a nigh uncounterable pop-off. What differentiates this build from previously successful builds like Danger Spiral is that with the exception of Droll and Lockbird, this list can play through almost every hand trap, including Nibiru, thanks to a mid-combo Appaloosa. Of course, like its predecessor Firewall Spiral, it's unlikely this will be legal come next banlist season, so get your all but extra links in while Konami's trying to push Magical Hero. So with that, let's get into the card by card. Again, we're using Michael State's second place build from the PPG Invitational. First, our Spirals. 1 Sleepy Boy, 2 Master Plan, 1 Tough, 2 Super Agent, 1 Last Resort, 1 Quick Fix, 1 Drones, and then our good stuff. 1 Armageddonite, 3 Magician's Souls, 3 Droll, and 1 DD Crow, searchable off of Recital. For spells, we're on 3 Where Arf Thou, 3 Goods, 3 Called, 2 Big Red, 1 Assault, and 7 limited spells for a total of 25% limited cards in the main deck. 1 for 1, Rhoda, Upstart, Terraforming, Foolish, Reborn, and Resort. For traps, we're on 3 Rescue and 1 Utility Wire, which is greedy as hell, but so am I. In the extra, we're on Princess Sprite and Recital, Borreload and Boral Sword, Appaloosa, Curious, Trigate, Nightmare's Unicorn, Phoenix, and Cerberus, Double, Barricade Borg, Mask, and Link Hurry. So with that, let's jump into the games. Our first match is up against... Well, I'll be completely honest with you, it doesn't matter what we're up against because we've opened as powerful as we possibly can. Magician's Souls plus Spiral Mission Rescue is full combo despite what our opponent is playing, despite the singular hand trap in their opener, and despite the Garnet in our hand. That is Spiral Resort, but don't worry, I aim to activate it a couple of times over the course of the turn. Our opponent is on Valkyrie, a deck that would undoubtedly be tier 0 if only they had access on YGO Pro Percy to Mischief of the Time Goddess. Make sure to tweet Alpha Cretin and ask him where it is. We're going first. We're going to activate Magician Souls to send a copy of Master Plan to Graveyard for cost, then activate the effect of Magician Souls to bin this copy of Rescue. We'll rescue back the Master Plan and use Master Plan's effect to get another copy of Rescue before activating Resort and eating an Ash. That's fine. We do have a Where Art Thou in the hand, which we will use to get the quick fix we would have gotten otherwise. We'll activate Quick Fix's effect for Drone before link summoning a Barricade Board blocker, sending a copy of Rescue, then bringing back the Master Plan using its effect to get an Assault. We'll go into Double Helix and the Grave effect of Quick Fix because, of course, the Double Helix is a super agent on field. We'll then trigger the effect of Assault to bring out Drone and stack our opponent's deck, activating Double Helix with certainty for the last Master Plan. We'll add the final Rescue to hand before going into Unicorn and tucking back this copy of Resort for the Master Plan Reborn, which happens right now. We'll then Xyz summon a copy of Recital to get a copy of DD Crow to hand, then activate Quick Fix again, triggering its effect for a Utility Wire. We'll go into Trigate, trigger the effect of Master Plan, then fire off a Resort in order to get a copy of Super Agent to our hand. This is our flex-free summon. We'll go ahead and summon that. Afterwards, we're going to link summon a copy of Nightmare Phoenix and Big Red back our copy of Double Helix. Wow, a Sleeper, a Last Resort, and an on Trigate. None of these monsters can be destroyed by battle, and we have 2 monster negations. Our opponent's going to lead with a copy of Valhalla. I'll go ahead and Utility Wire that bad boy back to the top of the deck. Afterwards, they'll activate Ride, we'll activate Trigate Wizard, and that's effectively the end of the game. While popping off every game is certainly powerful, it's not particularly good for my continued lung health. As a result, I'll use the second game to show you how this deck deals with multiple negations. It uses incidental effects of Super Agent, Tough, and Sleeper to chew through back row with ease. Our opponent's on Guru, and they're going first. They're going to lead with a copy of the Hidden City, setting a copy of Subterra Guru, which they will use to find a Fiendus, set 4, and pass. You will be staring down this board a lot. We'll lead with a copy of Reinforcement, and thankfully that does fetch the Fiendus. We're just trying to force negations before we fire off this copy of Souls. We'll Super Agent, we miss. We'll use Souls effect, and then we'll special summon the Sucker before activating its effect, and activating Spiral Resort. Okay, that's a good judgment out of our opponent. We will then activate the Assault in Graveyard to special Super Agent and use its effect. They will chain a Crackdown, but we're cracking it right back. We'll activate Rescue's effect to get back this Master Plan, and Called by the Grave is devastating. We'll go into Linkaribo and pass it back to our opponent. For turn, they draw an Infinite Impermanence. They'll activate Hidden City, then activate Guru's effect to get a copy of Cave Clash so that their Book of Moon effect is always live, locking us from Link summoning. Things aren't looking fantastic, but I still have hope. For turn, we draw a copy of Souls. Okay, we'll activate Souls' effect to special summon itself, and because they didn't add a Fiendus, we'll send this copy of Called by the Grave. They'll infip our Souls, but we have a Linkaribo in the graveyard, so we'll bring it back and draw an Upstart into a Reborn. Fantastic. We'll Reborn back this Master Plan, and a second Judgment? Are you kidding me? Well, we still can't attack because of that Hidden City, so we'll just pass it back one more time. They draw a Cosmic. They'll flip up the Guru, then use the Guru effect to get a copy of Umastrix. That's really unfortunate. They'll flip down this Umastrix, and we're going to have to draw a Broken if we want out of this. Thankfully, we do, and find a Sleeper. We'll flip up this Super Agent and go to Nightmare Phoenix before special summoning the Sleeper and destroying itself and these 2 cards. We'll go into the Phoenix so there's something on our field to pop, so we can then go into a Super Agent from deck and attack directly for 19. I need to fade one more draw step, and thankfully I do. See, this deck is even excellent at dispatching with back row. It's incredible! So it's time for Game 3, and you know what that means, a best of 3 versus meta. A good spy is always several steps ahead, so I peered into the future to see what deck could possibly take ours down, and it's the mirror. We're going first, which is incredibly important despite the DD Crow in our opponent's opening hand. We're going to lead with a copy of Drone. Drone is going to stack the 3 cards on top of our opponent's deck, followed by a Where Art Thou for a copy of Magician's Souls. As we go to Reborn this copy of Master Plan, they respond with the Crow, but we still should be able to do this with knowledge of the top of the deck. We'll lead with a copy of Super Agent, then link summon a copy of Double Helix. We'll use Double Helix's effect to get a copy of Master Plan from deck. Afterwards, we're going to use Master Plan's effect to add a copy of Rescue to hand. We will go ahead and activate Magician's Souls to send 2 of those to the graveyard, finding a 1-for-1 Fantastic and material for it. We'll Reborn this copy of Master Plan and trigger the effect of Resort to get a copy of Last Resort. We'll 1-for-1 into a Quick Fix and use Quick Fix's effect to get a Big Red. After that, we'll go into a Phoenix, fire off Big Red to get back this copy of Double Helix, summon Quick Fix, going into a copy of Utility Wire, set that Sucker, and then special Spiral Sleeper equipped with Last Resort. Pretty powerful board for interruption. We take 2,000 points of damage at the end phase, and that's time in the round. Our opponent will lead with a copy of Rhoda. Afterwards, we're going to activate Magician's Souls effect, and yes, we will go ahead and negate it. After that, they're going to activate the hand effect of Super Agent. That deserves a negation too. Finally, they're going to normal summon a copy of Quick Fix and activate the effect, and you know what, I'll expend a negate on that as well. Next, they're going to go into Linkaribo, set 1 card in an end step, of course. We will activate Sleeper, popping the set card and the copy of Linkaribo, drawing a copy of Rescue for turn. We'll activate Resort's effect to get a copy of Tough. We'll then use Double Helix's effect with knowledge at the top of our opponent's deck, getting a copy of Super Agent. We'll go into Boral Sword, and with access to Boral Sword, this deck is OTKing all day. We'll go to battle phase, attacking for 1900, for 1900, for 1900, for 3000, and lethal. So it's time for Game 2, and despite how bad both of these openers look, I assure you, neither is a true brick. Our opponent's going first. They're going to normal summon DD Crow, so they have material for Where Art Thou, which is going to add a copy of Souls to hand. We'll draw them, and they'll have the called. Well, that's why you play it. Afterwards, they'll special summon a copy of Soul, sending a Master Plan to graveyard, and then activate the effect of Soul, sending a Rescue, in order to bring back Master Plan. They'll activate Master Plan's effect for another Rescue before link summoning a copy of Barricade Borg, discarding this copy of Rescue, and adding a copy of both Resort and Super Agent to hand. They'll Super Agent, and I missed! They'll then resort for a copy of Sleeper, go into Unicorn, use Unicorn to tuck back this copy of Resort, then Reborn Master Plan and rescue back Super Agent. Afterwards, they're going to link summon a copy of Double Helix after using the effect of Master Plan, and with knowledge of the top of my deck, I assume they're going to hit it. They'll get a Quick Fix from deck. Afterwards, they'll activate the effect of Quick Fix for a copy of Big Red, before link summoning a Trigate, Big Redding back this copy of Double Helix, bring back Quick Fix, and you are one material off, good sir! Oh, yes, okay, well. They'll then go into Sleeper and Last Resort attached, and that's a board. For turn, we draw a copy of Where Art Thou. We might be able to do this. We'll start with Drone. We'll activate Where Art Thou to get a copy of Magician Souls. They'll draw and lock, but that's reciprocal, sir. We'll then special summon this copy of Souls. Of course, it fetches the Trigate. We'll then activate Foolish Burial Goods and activate Rescue's effect to bring back Master Plan. This forces the Sleeper out of our opponent, which is unfortunate because we can chain the effect of Drone to get a huge Master Plan, which immediately goes to the graveyard, triggering the effect and giving us Resort. We'll special Super Agent, and we have to hit this. Thankfully we do. We'll destroy this copy of Last Resort and attack into their copy of Double Helix, then in main phase 2, activate Assault, activate Sleeper's effect, targeting the Assault, destroying our opponent's Sleeper, and destroying their board, bringing back the Double Helix. No, get the one from deck! Now I can destroy it with Tough, because I know the top card! Wow. We broke the board. We'll take 2,000 for our trouble, but no big deal, because we know the top card of our opponent's deck is Miserable. We draw a copy of Monster Reborn. All we have to do is remember what we stacked on top of the deck. And of course I've already forgotten. Well, we'll just go to battle phase 19 plus 28 plus 19. With Where Art Thou rotting in hand, I still feel pretty good about this one. They draw a copy of Resort for turn. They will go ahead and activate it. We'll activate Sleeper in response. I am not messing around. We'll pop that sucker, forcing them to pause. For turn we draw, a copy of FB Goods. We'll activate Double Helix, and finally we remember. That allows us to special a Quick Fix from deck and prompts the concession. So we're back with the deck, and, well, that's what being the best gets you. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. This deck has Sistine Chapel levels of ceiling. Depending on the hand, you can pop off so profusely that nothing your opponent can do, including Sphere Mode, can set you back. If you ever see Where Art Thou search Droll, just go to Game 2. 2. There's almost no time to effectively interrupt the deck. They make Appaloosa so early and extend so far that even Nibiru isn't particularly powerful against the company. And 3. It's got an unbelievable capacity for both setup and OTK. With the exception of the Mirror, where going first nets you several critical negations and searches, it can break almost any board on its way to Boral Sword. And the cons. 1. It's not actually very consistent. This is a recurrent issue for SPYRAL. I know! I too am shocked that a deck that's 40% one-ofs struggles to manage playable hands, but sometimes you've got to get real lucky with the top card of your opponent's deck to do anything. 2. Magician Souls is actually the only new card in the deck. I mean, sure, Barricade Borg is good, but it was preceded by Goblin, and Appaloosa's a nice payoff, but outside of this 3-of, you're just playing a bad deck from last format. And 3, the entire field is out to get you. If you're comfortable losing 100% of your games to exactly Droll and Lockbird, that's your business, but you won't catch me summoning Super Agent. All in all, it's an exceptional strategy and the clear best deck, but despite its flexibility, it's not without its weaknesses, especially when the whole field will be gunning for Quick Fix. So that's that. Thanks to my patrons, Tyler Slacks, Sir Tachyon, Miko Reichman, Crispy, Distrin, Picnic Blasted, Lucas Girdis, Adam Trevino, Second, Fighting Fang Wong, Pro Yugi Dad, Meatmoto27, Burritoman93, Adrian Bra, Adam Sundquist, Isaac Jackson, Donnie Fillerup, Kobe Fisher, and others. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. And if you want to be part of the process, consider following me on Twitch as well. See you next time!